Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Doom Patrol Season 1, Episode 7, Therapy Patrol. I'm thinking that if Thanos snapped a second time and made all the TV shows in the world disappear, not just half of them, all of them, but only left one, as long as this was the one, yeah, I'd be okay. So, wow, man. This episode, like the first half, a little bit more than the first half of the episode, was just the whole, like, each person's perspective as they're moving on, and you hear everything has to do with, you think that thing's going to hurt me? And the whole time I'm just like, I can't wait to see how this is going to go down. And then it happened. I'm like, awesome. And then the show kept on going. I'm like, I have been a good boy. Obviously, clearly. Santa sees me on his good boy list. So, what happens? Cliff, the entire time I'm thinking Cliff is just, like, he's taking it too far. He's like, okay, guys, I just have to get this off my chest. I'm gay. What? I thought that was going to be the bombshell. I thought he was going to come out to us. I'm like, okay, dude, just enough. But the more he kept going, the funnier it got. It's like that thing when, what is that? What's that show? Family Guy. When the fat dude, Peter Griffin, when he's running and he trips and falls and he busts up his shin, he's just, It's like, okay, after 3 times, you're like, dude, enough, move on already. But by the 4th time, somehow it just becomes funny. It's just like, okay, fine, ha ha ha. How'd this happen? So, yeah, the more he kept on going with yelling at everybody and interrupting, it was freaking great. Man. So it turns out that Admiral Whiskers is actually the reason why he was flipping out. That was weird. But I loved it. It's perfect for Doom Patrol. Everything in this show is perfect for Doom Patrol, for crying out loud. But this Admiral Whiskers thing, his origin story, so perfect. And to find out that he was actually, I'm pretty sure he was literally having sex with his brain, because that's what Mr. Nobody said for him to do. He said, go F with his brain. Go F his brain. Pretty sure he F'd it. He F'd it all up. Cyborg constantly attacking him, like doing he turned around and did a freaking German suplex on him at the end. That move at the end, I forget what that's called, but not at the end, excuse me. The earlier move that he did, I forget what it's called, but it's actually taught in Aikido, where somebody goes and throws a hard punch at you, especially if it's an overhand punch. It's like, oh, thank you for doing such a stupid move. But he went, swinging wide with a haymaker, just grabbed him, turned him around, kept holding onto his arm, but, with the reverse grip, grab onto the nearest leg, pick you up and just boom, like you're supposed to twist your body and your knees to keep your feet planted, and then just boom, come right down hard on his shoulders, and oh man. And then of course he just jumped up and bam. Well, that's messed up. I happen to like Robot Man. Cliff, or Vic. What up with that, Vic? So either way, like, he was going hard on him, but these two were constantly going hard on each other. But they can, because Cliff doesn't feel any pain. I guess the pain center of his brain is just blocked out. But I'm telling you, man, like, that was insanity. All that crazy stuff happening because Admiral Whiskers is there. And of course he goes and does that Princess Bride line. My name is Admiral Whiskers. You killed my mother. I shall have my revenge. And of course, and then like that's 6 episodes ago that this happened. And then more than that, the hole in his arm that had occurred. It's like all of this stuff winds up coming into play. You got to watch every episode of this show in order to understand every episode of this show. Oh, I love this show. Excuse me. They're about to do season 2 of Titans. And I think that the rest of... I know there's a bunch of people still out there talking about Titans was a great show. I don't mind it being dark. Okay, that's great. Everybody else does. You are in the minority. That's the reason why you're so vocal about it. Because you know that you're screaming into the void. It just, I'm glad you like that. Maybe somebody will make a different show like that for you. But I kind of want my actual Titans back, just saying. And I want them to be, they don't have to be like this, silly and whatnot, but this is not a dark show. Oh, it's dark AF. But it's not like, the heroes and just, oh, man. They're dealing with psychosis. And it's a funny thing to think about because, you know, when you think about losing loved ones, someone gets Alzheimer's or something like that, you sometimes get mad at them. Heck, if somebody dies, if a parent dies, sometimes that kid will be angry, not even just a survivor's guilt, but just actually be angry at the person for dying. How could they die? I need them. Yeah, but they died. It's an immature thing, of course, because immature people think like it's kids, you know, who haven't, you know, fully developed yet. It is what it is. But it's like this represents that so much. So much of that is represented here, I should say. Rita Farr talking herself into, oh God, that was just funny. No, I was in a literal boiler room, but her talking her legs back into, you know, correctness and whatnot. Beautiful. That was great. The scenes with Larry Traynor, perfect, great. Man, I'm sorry. Can anybody help me out? Is there a single flaw in this show that I'm missing out on? Because I see this show as being completely flawless. That is to say, without fault, or without fault, without any kind of, oh man. Wow, I can just sit here and just be like, dude, wasn't that a great show? Yeah, man. The Ethel Singer thing in the beginning, I really dug that. That Rita Farr isn't actually Rita Farr. We never learned her real original name. Now her real name is Rita Farr. When she, you know, her stage name, that's her real name now. That's what that's what everybody knows her. That's what she answers to. But she, you know, the thing in the beginning, I think that Eric Singer, different person, Ethel Singer, I think that was supposed to be Ethel Merman. You know, by all means, feel free to throw in your 2 cents if you want. Like, here's my 2 cents. I think it was supposed to be Ethel Merman, which is interesting if you look at her character, if you look at her background, just like Wikipedia her real quick or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Unless you actually know about her. Wow. That was like probably the perfect character to pick. So that's why I'm thinking, you know, I don't think it would have worked with Carol Burnett. Just saying. Wow. Nope, sorry guys. This is the best show on TV. My own personal opinion. But yeah. They were mad at, it's like they were mad at, what's his name? Cliff, for talking back to Crazy Jane like that. Crazy Jane says mean and hurtful things to people all the time, and yet finally somebody says something back. And what happens? And what does he say that's so bad? I'm the only person here who tolerates you. And I like 1/64th of you. And everybody else, you know, and of course, Vic comes up, hey man, boom, gotta hit him and whatnot. As mean as it sounds, I love Robot Man so much that I'm hoping one of these days he just backhands Vic and just sends him flying, puts a big bruise on this side, on the not robotic side of his face, just to be like, you know, dude, stop hitting me. You keep putting hands on, this is what you get. But wow. Like, he finally says something back, and he's right. He is the only one who tolerates her. He is the only one who really puts up with her, you know, and like helps her out. He's the only one who brought her sandwiches, you know, when she was hurt. But now all of a sudden, oh, you know, you're the bad guy, Cliff. Why? Why exactly is he the bad guy again? I don't know, man. This was, go ahead, find me a better show. I challenge it. All right, guys, that's it for me. Just such a fantastic show. I really hope they're already playing. Like, this should already be preparing. They should already be preparing themselves to go into the next round, the next season of this show by now. If they haven't just said, okay, you know what, we got to put this into hyperdrive, I don't know what they're thinking about then. This has to go. This has to come back ASAP. This should be signed down for like 8 more seasons, just for the sake of conversation, so that the 10th one can be announced as a big, guess what, guys? This show should never end, ever. All right, guys. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.